You can do anything. All you have to do is think, plan, and do. This is Lady Myya. I have the honeys, you guys. They are so adorable. Miss Amy, honey, and her husband. And I don't want to jack up your name, sir. Please give us your name.
Jamie.
Jimmy. And it's Jamie, honey, and Amy, honey. That rhymes. I like that.
We didn't plan that.
Amy and Jamie are like Chip and Dale.
I love it when they start dancing. That is so awesome. Okay, so these guys are from Nevada, and they are just, so much energy, and I just love it. And this is why I got to talk to Amy. Like, girl, let's exchange the energy. We love it. Certainly. So I'm just gonna ask a few questions because I am totally in love with you guys' relationship. Okay, Mr. Prince Charming, did you finish training?
A work in progress.
There's always room for improvement in all things in life. We can do good, and then we look at better.
Yes, we always want to get better, certainly. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you a few questions, all right, you guys? Let's get it started. All right. So give us a rundown on how you two met.
It was actually a really cute little story because on Fraser Island in Australia, the greenback turtle comes up and lays eggs, and it's an endangered species. So what happens is all the seagulls come and eat the baby turtles when they're making their way to the ocean, and they get volunteers to get there with big giant feather dusters just to wave across the turtles to protect them getting in the water.
Yeah.
And so Amy was there as one of the American volunteers, and I was there as an Australian volunteer. Well, she was very vigorous with it, and so she was sent to the sin bin for excessive protection of the baby turtles, and I was one of the security guards at the sin bin because some of these animal activists will get out and just go crazy protecting the wildlife.
He is so full of it. Okay, that is not true. That's not how we met.
Could have been. Seems legit.
You were buying the feather duster thing, though. I see.
Just a little.
So no, how we actually met was actually through a good friend of ours. Now is a guy by the name of Dr. Joey Dispenza. He wrote a book called
Changing the Habit of Being Yourself.
Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
That's
and
it.
He's a chiropractor, but he was doing a talk, and we met at his talk.
Oh.
That's how we actually met. And it was more about the brain and quantum physics, and so we're both a couple of nerds. In fact, when we got married and went to the INS, and we had to put our information through the INS, the lady just shook her head and said, "Yep, you guys belong together," because we just started talking about quantum physics, and she was just like,
You couldn't fake that.
You can't fake that. Yeah.
Of how a thought leads into an expectation, which leads into an experience of observation, which then leads into your interaction with your environment. So therefore you create your own experience, which you then refer to as the reality of the moment. Yet, as I've lived and worked all over the world, you see that different cultures, different groups, different clusters, different societies have different expectations of what is reality.
Right. No, that makes sense. I like quantum physics, at least what I know about it. Okay, so y'all might have to give me more information at a later time. Okay, we'll talk. Definitely. All right, so what do you guys each do? Miss Amy, I know you have such a colorful, super job.
Yeah, so I study behavior modification, and I study body language and communication and what we're really actually saying. And with that, I train corporations in ethical sales. So I think it's very important to put the right people with the right product. And I'm really passionate about sales because I know that people have some amazing services and products out there that are going to transform lives. And so I'm passionate about getting those products and services into the hands of the people that need them. So I'm passionate about helping, I guess you could say, more than the sales. But the sales is part of it, and I'm passionate about shifting people's mindset around sales, because it's kind of got a bad rap. You know, we picture like the network marketer, or we picture the car salesman. And so I like to put the fun back into it and put the ethical back into it. And then Jamie, he's an energy creation specialist, and I'll let him explain what that means.
Energy creation.
Yeah, so what I do, because everything is a flow of energy in life, like rainforest, plants, your experience, a pro athlete getting the football and running to the other end. There's an expression of energy connected to a goal. So when we look at the alignment of that energy to your actual goal, what you really want to achieve, then there's a fluid response. So what means is that you achieve your goals even easier. And I use the modalities of improvisation and brain entrainment for the habit of thought that you have, so as you have more creativity, more imagination, and accelerated success in your field or your environment. So yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and because everybody's creative, everybody has imagination, yet as children we've been told, no, don't.
Right.
Restricted our natural innate abilities to fit into our parents or our adults' circumstances in the time, as opposed to who we really are. So when you just let yourself go free with what you're capable of, we actually achieve a lot more in life and have fun doing it.
Hey, this is like example number 1. Okay, I am not supposed to have my own talk show, people. Well, that is like super interesting, because that's kind of like my mindset as well. You know, like I have such a, like, I keep telling people to always, like, hey, you know what, if you only kept thinking and just kept believing you were going to get there, you're going to get there. So I am definitely hearing you on that. Oh, okay. So okay, what do you guys do together? I'm dying to hear this one.
So together we combine it, because I also love energy as well. And we work for large seminar companies. So we will actually go to the seminar company. We will use improv. Sometimes we'll actually speak from the front of the stage, teach improv, because we use it as a tool. Like most people, when they think of improv, they think of comedy, or they think of whose line is it anyway, or like being a comedian. But it's such a powerful tool.
Yeah, because like improv, for example, it could be a knife. Now, most people think, oh, a knife, you chop up your veggies and you make a stew. Yes, that's one way you can use the knife. But a surgeon using that knife is completely different. Or a knight on the field using his very big knife is a different use of that sharp metal instrument. So the improv and the brain entrainment skills and exercises enable people to have a connection, to have a communication, to have a creativity.
And as we add more rules on the exercises or the games, what happens is people revert back to habit, and then I easily identify where they're blocked, what habits are blocking them from their success. So we'll actually use this, we train corporations, we use it to train sales teams, we use it to train people in more creativity or charisma. We use it at live seminars to get people up and moving and interacting with each other. Team building, like if two corporations are merging, Jamie can come in and we can actually help that merge happen a lot faster, and the communication to happen a lot easier and faster with each other. So like just team building, like that kind of thing. So
and it makes you hyper alert to the expectations that you have. And a lot of the time, our emotional state that's not on a neutral or above is because an expectation hasn't been met. But a lot of the time we're not sharing what that expectation is to the rest of the environment. So especially when two companies come together, they both have unspoken expectations. And when I break down the wall for honest communication in a fun way, so people are laughing, having jokes, and enjoying each other, which of course boosts your immune system, all that laughter. Their ability to communicate and be productive quicker happens.
That is true. Very true. Well, you know what? I do know that to be so. I really do. Because, I mean, communication is definitely key. You definitely want to have, like, I look at it a lot of the times that, you know, when you have, like, just one of those marbles fall off that chain, you know, it doesn't collaborate and it doesn't shine nearly as good as it could if it was all together, correct?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And most people aren't communicating fully and honestly for fear of a something. And when we can look at what that something is and realize that something is nothing more than a thought, and you can therefore instantly change that something into a completely new something that's empowering and motivating and uplifting and serving the company, because that's what we want to do in all situations. If it's a one-on-one circumstance or a one-on-many, is how can we serve, how can we support, how can we uplift with our knowledge or our skill set for every single person to have a better next moment. So that's what we want to look at. So the next moment is better. And so that's what we train. And we train on also the emotional element. When something goes wrong, something went wrong. And then most people stay in the emotion of what went wrong.
Right.
Where what we have is 3 simple steps that move you from what went wrong into achieving success. So first of all, you acknowledge what went wrong.
True.
Then you...
So first you acknowledge what went wrong. Then you say, what happened? What do I want? So you ask, what do I want? And then the third step is...
what can I do?
Like an action. What action can I take?
Do?
What do you want?
You did catch me off guard. I had to repeat the 3.
She's like, wait. No, but you know what? Those are good things to actually live by, because if you think about it, like if we stopped to actually look at what it was that, you know, okay, why did this go wrong? You know, but how am I going to react to it as well? So that's a really, really good thing to you know, take a look at before really kind of going further and pushing past, because you don't want to jump over steps. That's the last thing you want to do.
And an important part of what happened was to do it unemotionally.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a bad idea to do on Zooms, Jamie. It's really bad.
I'm on a different server line, so I froze for a second. So what happens a lot of the time, though, people like with positive affirmations, they're like, I'm not going to look at the negative. But we have to acknowledge the moment just in the facts. For example, if someone crashed the car, you have to acknowledge, I crashed the car. Saying, oh, no, I don't have a flat tire because I'm having a positive thought about my trip.
Right.
You got to change the
facts. You got to
and
acknowledge it.
You got to acknowledge it. But you can't have the emotions like, that person cut me off. Because that doesn't serve anything else.
No.
Our good friend who works for,
it does.
She's one of the head counselors for a big mental hospital here in America. She goes, look, if arguing served a purpose, if it
got you a result, like if being a jerk got you a result, then I can see you complaining and doing it. It's like if you're at work and you have to take the trash out and you complain about taking the trash out, it doesn't solve it. It just makes you look like a jerk.
Doesn't change it.
And it doesn't change it. You're going to have to take the trash anyway. Sure. So you might as well have fun with it and just take the damn trash out.
There you go.
And, you know.
So we acknowledge the moment.
It's going to smell up the place.
The facts. Then we have a platform to move forward from. Right. Then it's like, well, what do I really want? Well, I want to get from here to there with as less trouble as possible. Okay, so what can I do? Well, I can change my tire.
Right.
That's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
And you break it down into the smallest action step that you can take straight away.
Right.
And now when you're focused on doing an action, you actually take yourself out of the emotional state of the situation into action.
That's true. That's all we need, just better reactions and better actions. I like that.
Exactly.
This is so awesome. Like, okay, so you got to give us some information. We need to know, like, what do we do to get in front of the honeys? What do we do?
Well, like as far as what, like, so most of the companies we work with are larger companies, but you can always, contact us. You can, if you're not a larger company and you just want advice from us, we do a Facebook Live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's at The Honey Dare on Facebook. So you could join us there anytime you want. Yeah.
Perfect.
We give away prizes in that big prize wheel here. Yep.
Yes.
So we give away prizes, and we have on great guests and really fun stuff. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. This is phenomenal. Okay, so you guys, you got to tell me, what's the secret to the fun and the happy honeys? I need to know. I need to take this and put it on my affirmation over the bedpost.
So I would really say the secret is open communication and safe communication. It's so.
Oh, you can't say that. No, what the secret is.
It's important not only to have open communication, but also to have safe communication. That means if I go to tell him something hard, that's a difficult thing for me to tell him, and that I know he's not going to want to hear.
Right.
He has to make it safe for me to tell him that.
That's true.
Otherwise, I'm not going to communicate it to him. And it was the same rule. We don't have this rule with each other. We just were naturally this way. But it was the same rule I had with my daughter growing up. My rule with her was, you can screw up. That's okay. You can screw up. If you lie to me about it, you're in trouble. If you come to me first and tell me what happened, you will not get grounded from me. You might have life consequences. There might be consequences I don't have any control of, but I'm not going to yell at you, and I'm not going to ground you.
True.
Because I always wanted me to be the first call she made.
Right.
And to this day, she's 32. If she's in trouble, she calls me first, because that way I can actually help her.
Yes.
But if she doesn't tell me, I can't help her.
Yes.
We all say that honesty's the best policy, but we hate to hear it about ourselves.
That's true.
One of the key elements is if you say that, you have to mean it. Right. Truth is so much easier than a lie. Because a lie, you've got to hold all this energy into your brain of what did I lie about, who did I lie about, when did I lie about it, or where's my background story to back up that. Where truth is just like, yeah, this happened. I was an idiot. I made a mistake. Or this happened and I wasn't happy about it. When we communicate about how something actually made us feel and then go, hey, that's you and your feelings. I'm not discounting them and I'm not empowering them either. But that's for you to look at for yourself.
And work through.
We have to be honest and allow honesty.
You do.
When we block it, you're blocking energy, and it's like water. Water is soft and fluid and fun, especially if you're a surfer. What up, homie? But if you try to block the water and squeeze it down, you get a fire hose that can cut through a concrete wall. And that's the same with the energy of a truth or a lie within you. If you're trying to hold it all back, it's going to burst. The dam is going to break. Because that negative energy has to be released for you to stay alive.
It really does. A lot of people, I think, are reacting because of the fact that they don't get that opportunity to just let it all, come out. And they don't have a safe place like you guys have, like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to be truthful. They may have, have it to whereas they just have more repercussions, than they'd like to be into. So they do lie or they walk away or they just don't want to deal with it altogether. So, you know what?
Or they don't even disclose because they're like, well, if I tell my partner this, they're going to be really like finances is a big one for a lot of partners, right? So if there's money trouble and I'm the one that does the books and I go to him and he has an emotional reaction of anger about it, then I would just be trying to figure it out on my own. Like, okay, I'll just figure this out on my own. Maybe I can fix this before I have to tell him, right? And then the communication never happens, right?
True.
But that communication is so important, but both parties have to make it safe.
You have to allow for honesty.
Yes, always. Oh, you guys, I love you to pieces. I really do. Thank you so much for being on my show, you guys. Listen. We're going to have to find another way to do this again. This is what we're gonna have to do. I don't know where my schedule is gonna go, but I am loving the energy that you guys give off. I'm really appreciating just what you do and what you say, because like it's really, really major, and this is things that people, discount. They just don't want to deal with. They don't want to think about it. They just want to keep it to themselves and just just close off. And I don't think that's healthy by no means. And you guys are showing, like, no, let's not do this. Let's do something different so we can have a different result and our lives can get better. And we can go on, just looking for the positive. And positive will come to you, correct?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I give your listeners a really quick tool to use?
Oh, certainly. Mm-hmm.
So
It's called the back of the head slap.
So if your partner is really in an emotional state and they're angry or they're, crying or they're complaining about something, ask them, how can I best serve you right now?
Right.
Do you want me to listen or do you want me to help you fix this?
Right.
Do you want a solution or you want a sounding board?
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes, especially with women, some men, but especially with women, most women just want a sounding board.
They just want to be heard.
They just want to be heard. They don't want so they want to be heard first, and then they want a solution.
Right.
So, but if you can ask your partner that, like, how can I best serve you right now? They're gonna feel heard, and then if it's listen, you just gotta sit and listen. Sometimes it's not easy.
Because there's 4 different, like we teach this in our training course, there's 4 different personality types, and different personality types process things at a different speed.
True.
So for example, if you've got someone who's like an expressive visual talker, they need you to understand all the nuances of the story, of the experience that they're feeling, so then they feel as though you've heard them and understand them.
And you have to see them too. So in order for that person to feel heard, they have to be seen as well.
True.
Or they won't feel heard.
Oh, wow. Yes, you do have to see them. You know what? Sometimes, I know people that get really, really nervous when you do look at them. They'll be like, don't look at me because I didn't put my face on today, or I got a big old pimple on the side of my nose. I'm just not trying to be seen, but I'm trying to be heard. But you did.
And some people are visually predominant and some people are auditory predominant.
Yes.
So an auditory person will turn their ear to you because hearing you is what's most important to them. A visual person will look straight at you.
Right.
So a visual person speaking to an auditory, they're like, look at me. And they're like, well, I'm trying to pay attention to you.
No, that's me, sir. That's me. Yeah, because I'm like, one of my ears, like I can barely hear, is a little more muffled. So I'm like, and they're like, you're not paying me any attention. I'm like, I'm listening to everything you say. Just keep going. I got you. But I understand.
So that's exactly what's going on. And I'm the same way because I can hear better out of this ear, so I'll turn a lot of times, and I'm more auditory than I am visual.
Yes.
And he's more visual, so yeah.
See. He is a riot. What do you do with him day in and day out, especially in this quarantine?
She treats me like a pet. She puts me in a cage. She feeds me once a day.
That is too cute.
Rubs my tummy.
Thank God, I'll just say thank God, we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and back in November of 2019, we moved into a 4-story townhouse.
Ooh.
Thank God, because we could not have handled this quarantine in a 2-bedroom.
No.
I would have been tearing my hair out.
There's like we play games sometimes. Like she'll say, "Hey, you want to play hide and seek?" And then she can't find me for like 8 hours. I am such a good hider, like for reals.
And then I'm like, "Hey, let's play a game. Let's see who can be quiet the longest."
And I always win, except when I lose.
I love that. No, my husband, I would never talk to him again. Because he would just be, I don't have to talk anymore. Oh, you guys are riot. Okay, I need to know, like, when is the next time you guys are going to be available for me? I know we'll talk to it. We'll talk about it later. But geez, Louise, if y'all can just give me an idea, I'd be happy.
Well, we're in quarantine, so chances are that the odds are pretty good that we'll be available.
Yeah, Amy asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday this year, and I kind of just want to spend the day at home.
When is your birthday, Jamie?
It's August 27th.
August the 27th. Wow, Virgo. Woo woo. I'm a Virgo too. September the 13th.
When is yours?
September the 13th.
Oh, you're Virgo as well.
That's the same day as my best friend Ginny.
Jeez. Woo. See? And this is why
odd
we're
one
all
out.
Virgos. He just pushed her out the way. But you gotta love us Virgos. Yes, we gotta love us because like we are nothing but a ball of energy. We just love to play. We love to have fun. We love to see everybody else have a good time as well. And you're gonna have nothing but fun around us. So your cheeks might hurt just a little bit.
Yeah, so I think we have a lot in common because it's my birthday this year as well.
Well, I would only hope so, sir. Well,
And anybody who's having a birthday this year, you're our friends. We have something in common.
Yes, we all have it. We're all the same. All the same. So, thank you so much for your time, you guys. I know it's been it was a little touch and go in the very beginning, and yes, I've had all kinds of technical difficulties happen since the cameras came up. So I'm like, okay, what else is happening? So I appreciate your patience.
Piano I used to play when I was
really
at university. Touch and go.
Yes. It's a touch and go situation, especially over here with these cameras. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Touch the sign-in sheet and then go. I'll learn it in the textbook.
It'll happen. What you gonna do? This is touch and go. It doesn't matter. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Lady Myya. I want you guys to know that these people are sold to the earth. They're sweethearts. They will do anything and everything for you. I just want everybody to understand that what they said is definitely a vital part of a relationship, but not only a relationship, your vital part of just being you and being in possibly sales or just talking to people in general. You definitely want to have their mindset and different things take into account, and also you want them to do the same to you. So you know what? You just got to do what you got to do. Thank you so much for joining me, Lady Myya, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys later.
Hello, this is Lady Myya. I really hope you guys got a chance to enjoy the honeys, okay? Amy and Jamie, honey, I mean, they are phenomenal people. They really go the distance every time. She is a stunt devil. He is a bodybuilder. And like all the things that they do, they take so many risks, right? But you know what? At the same time, I will say this, okay? Risk is not a bad thing, right? Like, I mean, if you really start to really think about the things that we've endured, we've gotten through, I mean, anything could have been a risk. Am I right? So, what I want to say is this, okay? Since these are, pretty much my final thoughts, okay? Risk, right? Like, they were always willing to take a risk. and look how happy they are, and just all around just good people, because they were able to take the risk early instead of later. And now they get to enjoy it. Okay, so I'm not saying you're old. I'm not saying you too young, but I'm saying at the same time, like, what would you have to lose? Okay, so if they didn't take the risk, right? And they just kind of stood still, they wouldn't be nearly as successful as they are. What about you? Like, could you be more successful if you really sat and thought about it? Like, could you really be more successful? You could everybody could be more successful. Is it going to be hard? Heck yeah. But will it be yours? Oh, yes. Okay, look, do this, right? What if we went back through your past? We saw that there was a risk and everybody told us, don't do that. No, you don't want to do that. And what did you find out? They didn't want you to do it because they saw that you were going to be successful at it, and they wanted you to be where they not getting or not being successful. If you listen and if you just kind of was to drag and pull someone alongside you for just a moment to say, hey, you know what? I really have an idea I would like to jump on, but I don't really know if it's something that would actually work. Now you got to talk to somebody successful. You can't talk to nobody that's just, chilling and not really doing nothing and ain't trying to do nothing. Because, I mean, really? This is all you want to do? Like, look at what they're doing. Look at where they are. Look at the mindset they have. You need to really reassess the people that are around you, because more often than not, they don't want you to be nearly as successful, because then they would have to actually really take a look at their own lives. And there was a couple of projects that I really could have jumped on. And here it is. Nobody likes to be wrong, right? Mm-hmm. We know this. We know they don't like to be wrong. Let's not be wrong. And there's somebody to tell you wrong, honey. Okay? But I'm saying you can try. You can take risk. You can be better. You can go the distance. You can actually end up going places. Okay, I was told, don't do this, don't do that, and this is all you have to do. And no, I didn't like that. If everybody else is trying to put you in a box, why would you want to be in a box? Why would you want to be in their dimension, that box dimension? I can't go any further than the box. That's not fun. It's not. Because then all the places that you could go or really wanted to go or seen other people go, you can't go there. That's sad, right? Like, it's like, okay, well, they told you, listen, they told you can't come out of your house. You gonna tell everybody and they mama off. I gotta get out of this house. I can't do this. Yet and still you go out. Do you not think that that's a risk? Getting out of your house, being on the road, getting in places where you don't know everyone. That's a risk every day. Do you think of it as a risk? Maybe. I'm a risk taker. I'm going outside. If we thought about it that way, wouldn't it be really interesting? Like, you know what? That's true. I'm a risk taker. I'm not gonna. You go into the car lot when you go into the car dealership. Aren't you taking a risk? Do you know already? Did you already prepare for it? It's a risk. Every time you get in your car, a risk. Every time you go into that job, it's a risk. Everything is a risk. So if you only looked at the things that you do want to do and the places that you want to go and the people that you could meet on the way there may be able to help you better your life that much more. Is that not the best risk of all? Like, really? I think it is because, a lot of times we sit there and we try to, oh, well, if I was the mind reader, it's a risk to even meet people nowadays, you know? You can say hi and bye and all that good stuff. It's a risk with everything. Everything's a risk. But it's okay though. Like, you don't want to just like sit still. Then you wouldn't be able to eat. You wouldn't be able to sleep. You wouldn't be able to just do the things that you need to do just to be okay. But I want to tell you this. Risk on a whole lot of levels is so good because if I didn't take a risk, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't take a risk, I would not be able to talk to you. You didn't take a risk on me. We wouldn't be having this conversation. But at the same time, like, I'm so glad that you did. You did. Listen, you got up this morning, right? You opened them eyes. You climbed up out of that bed. Risk. The risk was that you were going to go forward and you were going to do something. You were going to take the next step. That's a risk. Okay? Now, it's not a bad risk. If anything, it's the best risk of all because you are not going to stop. You can go. You can do everything that you really wanted to do. And that's a great thing. Like, you just want to always be willing, able, ready for whatever it is that comes to you. Now, mind you, not all stuff is good. Yes, but you don't never know that until you take the risk. And even not all stuff is bad, and you never know that until you take the risk. So that's what the risk means. It can go either way. But the thrill for me is most importantly just the unknown. Ooh, everybody likes presents. We all like presents. We all love gifts. Give me a gift. What you got? What you got? What you got? What you got? Especially it's for you. This is a risk that's like designed for you. It's designed just for you, especially for you, especially for where you want to go, especially for where you want to be. Because I will say this, risk is something that you learn from. It's the biggest lesson there is. Okay, I wanted to go left and take another left and take another left and take another left. I ended up right back where I started. Risk is good. And I only hope that you can enjoy that because, like, life is really short. And why not? You've gotten yourself so just stuck with just being safe. Where does safe get you? Don't get you far. Does not get you far at all. But what I will say is this: you can learn. You can learn the biggest and greatest lessons of all. Taking. I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed my show. I really hope that you guys are just excited about the fact that I have so many different other shows and people to introduce you to. Well, let me tell you. Okay. I've been on a journey. This journey has showed me that anything is possible. Everything is possible. Taking risk is the greatest thing ever. Yeah, things may not look good, but if as long as you keep a very positive outlook and a very positive focus on what it is that you truly want, you don't even see the negative stuff after a while. You don't. Like, it starts to diminish because a lot of people say things, say not to do things because of their scare tactics and what they don't want you to do because they went to the worst case scenario when you weren't even nowhere near what they were thinking, right? I'm telling you, it's just, it's a phenomenal thing. This is so good to the point of just being, you know what? I'm happy, I'm healthy. Everybody around me is just doing so super well because I took the risk. I joined a group. I joined, I joined some people, you know. I was able to get out of my own head and my own space and everything that went along with it, the negativity, the things that held me back on a consistent level. Okay? Everybody said, you know what, slow your roll, girl. You'll get there. They didn't know. They did not know. I had to pick up just my skirt or my pants and keep it moving. I did because it's like everybody else wanted to say no and keep me in their area. And I couldn't do that. I just couldn't. I really couldn't. But now that I am away from that, possibilities are endless. Everything that I see in my mind, it came into fruition. It is such a wonderful thing because, like I said, anything is possible if you only believe in yourself and take the risk to do it. Write it down. Make the plan. Set the plan in motion. Do it. So this is the name of the show, which is Lady Myya, which is the premise of think, plan, and do. I thank you so much for joining me. First off, I'm going to say, please come back, hang out with me. I got a lot of stuff that I want to talk to y'all about, okay? And it's not just y'all, it's and friends, okay? So we're making friends as we go along. Okay, so I'm going to say this. The premise and the full purpose of me doing my shows is because I don't want you to have to just not go anywhere and not see that things are possible. This is the possibility. You never know what your testimony is going to say to someone else's heart. So this is what I'm proposing. I'm proposing that you think of something that you truly, truly want to do. And I only hope and I pray that I get the opportunity to come across that person for you, that person specifically for you. So you can see it wasn't easy, but this is why I'm doing it. And yet, and still, where I'm going, everybody knows and has a fair understanding of where they want to be in life, or at least dream of in life. I'm telling you, you can do it. You can do anything that you set your mind to. Think positive. Keep the positivity. If you got to sing in your heart, sing it all to just get your mind and your chakras aligned, get your heart aligned with your brain and all the thoughts that you have. The negative stuff, if the more you can do away with the negative, the better. Because now you don't have time for the negative. You shouldn't make time for the negative. And I'll tell you what, it does take up a lot of energy and a lot of time. And that's time that you could actually be doing something like taking and being that person with the best business ever, with the best life ever, with the best testimony ever. Okay? So I love you guys so much. I really do. And I do this all for you. And listen, anytime, any place, you tell me, listen, my email address is one Lady Myya, and that is Myya, Myya, at gmail.com, or I can be reached at 719-300-3766. I'm telling you guys, join me. Just join me. Hey, you never know. You just may be on the next show. You just got to take that risk. Thank you so much for just being with me, Lady Myya. Okay? You guys, please think, plan, and do. Later.